Yes,
super.
I'm Gucci.
Super. All right, so boys and girls, I'm here with Koyo, or Pr0Digit. Some of you may know him, who is a Black Desert streamer as well. He's quite new to the scene. I don't know if any of you guys don't know who he is. If not, if one of my mods could drop his link in the chat, or I'll do it as well. He streams. You just play just a ranger, don't you, dude?
I play Ranger only, man.
Yeah, just scrub.
So boring.
So if you guys don't know who he is, then yeah, by all means do go check him out now. He is streaming as well at this moment in time. But it's been a while since we've done any of these discussions. I haven't done one in like 2 months, I think. And yeah, Koyo, you've popped out of nowhere recently. Because you've only been streaming for how long is it? 2 months, did I hear you saying on stream?
I have been streaming for like 1.5 months, 2 months, so pretty new.
That's crazy. It's actually crazy that you've only been streaming for that short amount of time and you're already like, you're doing like so well.
Yes, I'm partnered and I have 132 subs. It is insane.
More subs than me, man. You're doing it. That is sick, man.
Feels good, man.
That is really cool, man. I feel I can't think of what much I say. I feel good for you. No, that's not what we say. I'm not proud of you. You're not my child. What's the word?
Alright.
I'm No, it's gonna annoy me. I can't think of the word. Oh well.
It's alright.
I'm gone. I've even got some of your subs in my chat as well.
Okay, I see.
With the Koyo fam emotes and all that jazz.
The Koyo pizza, that feels good.
But so one of the things we spoke briefly the other day, in the evening, didn't we? I think was it in the evening we spoke? I can't remember.
I have no clue. I was kind of tired, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. But we spoke the other day, and there were a couple of things that we definitely wanted to talk about today. So for those of you that don't know, or you're not really up to date with what's going on with Black Desert, the first expansion came out 2 weeks ago. Was it now? It's just been just over 2 weeks, hasn't it?
Right.
So yeah, the first expansion came out, and that is called Mediah, or Mediah, whatever the hell one you want to go by it. And they released it in kind of an interesting way. They released half of it, essentially. So they gave us all the new zones, didn't they? But they didn't give us plus 17. Were we meant to get the arena system with Mediah, do you know?
To be honest, I'm not sure for the Korean version, but what I've heard though is like NA and EU will have different like kind of release dates and patches, so I'm not sure what they're doing, but it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Mediah, yeah. I know like plus 20, so it's I don't know. But
I mean, what have you thought so far about the about Mediah? Do you think are you glad that they brought it out when they did, or like what did you think about it when they said? Because they dropped it on us with 1 day's notice, didn't they? They literally went,
right.
Yeah, by the way, guys, tomorrow in the patch, you're getting an expansion. Like, what the fuck? Can you imagine if any other company did that? Like if Guild Wars or World of Warcraft or any of them just dropped an expansion with 1 day's notice.
That would be really awkward. I don't know what they're doing, to be honest. Like, I don't want to be mean or anything, but dropping an expansion just like that, like it's nothing. It is something I'm kind of worried about because, you know, I'm trying to prepare myself for expansions, so I didn't expect this at all.
No.
Me playing the Korean version, I would think it's going to take us a couple of months at least, but it took us like not too long. I think a month maybe.
It was literally pretty much about a month, after the game coming out. It wasn't even quite that, I don't think. But apparently they had talked about it on some podcasts and stuff like that. So, like, I've just realised I'm grinding on my other one of my allied guilds channels. Yeah.
Oh, rip.
So I can't really take their ogres from them. So yeah, I mean, apparently they did talk about it in podcasts and stuff before that, but they never made an official announcement before like 1 day, until like 1 day of it coming out, which is when they dropped the YouTube video, and then it was all over the forums kind of thing. But before that, it was kind of whispers. They hinted at it in a Q&A I did with them that it would, you know, be coming very soon. But in terms of solid dates, they didn't really give us one. But how do you think it went? Do you think it was a good idea? Do you think it was a good idea?
I think it's a really bad idea. Like, what I think personally is, if you're watching patches as a company, for the NA and EU version, it's, you know, what are we waiting for? You know, we don't really know what's coming. We don't know really what's like gonna happen. So I feel like it's way too rushed, but it's fine. Like there's no issues or anything. It's all good, but I would want to, you know, prepare myself for expansion. If you look at WoW, for example, they give people heads up for months, right? Like there's a new expansion coming or whatever, like as an example. And for us, it's kind of rushed. From what I've heard, there was a video on YouTube, and that's how people knew there was an actual patch. Yeah. So it's kind of awkward.
Yeah, it was literally from the Black Desert YouTube channel. It was like, yeah, expansion tomorrow, and it was like, oh. And then they announced it on the forums like an hour later, kind of thing. So I think my problem was, or with it has been like, obviously it was so, it was rushed, but I will say about here, I think even though I feel like they should have given us more notice, I'm not too mad about it coming out when it did, because I'm not saying there was any lack of content whatsoever. I've still got so much that I haven't even done that was out in the first, from day one of the release. But
I agree.
It has allowed more players to get to a level playing field with this new expansion that they've released. So it's a lot easier to get to high levels now than it used to be. Like level 50 to even to 52 before the expansion was an absolute pain in the ass.
Right. I mean, not too bad, but yeah.
It was still for a lot of people who don't want to grind, 4 or 5 hours of level. It was still quite a lot for them. Like I only got to 52 pre-expansion because I couldn't do it. I hate grinding. I absolutely hate it. But with Mediah coming out, being able to do like 54 to 55 in under 10 hours, that was great. That was
feels good, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like whereas before it would have taken me, I don't even know how long it took people to do it before the expansion, but at least 20, 30 hours I think easily. So
I mean, I've seen people leveling really, really quickly. So if you know what you're doing in a party and you have like all the XP buffs and such, you can level very fast. So
yeah.
I don't know.
So
this is a good thing for leveling, and yeah, I don't know.
That's what it's going to help to do, is help to level the playing field a little bit for the hardcore players and maybe the not so hardcore players. Because the problem with a lot of these kind of games is that people out level, say like the more casual players, and then they outgear them because of it and everything, and then all of a sudden they can never catch up and they'll never be competitive again. But because they've done this, it's allowed people to level the playing fields again, if you will.
Right, so I have like mixed feelings, that's why. There is no plus 20, which means people have a time to, get ready in a way, I guess, for plus 20.
Yeah.
If they put out Mediah with plus 20, that would be a really big issue for me.
Yeah.
Because that means every single hardcore player is going to have sick gear, sick levels, and anyone who doesn't play hardcore will have no chance at all. So right now, it's not too bad. I like it, actually. I just hope that they give announcements. Like, they're kind of clear and transparent when it comes to patches, when it comes to, expansions, I guess.
Yeah.
So I would like a heads up for plus 20. I don't know. I haven't seen too much really.
They've kind of said they've kind of given us a time schedule of when Valencia and stuff will drop. I can't remember the dates off the top of my head, but they were sometime in. I think again, don't shoot me if I'm wrong with this, guys. I'm just going off the top of my head. I think they said something like June and July is when we can expect the Valencia. But in terms of getting plus 7, because they're going to bring out plus 17 first, is my understanding. So you can get to plus 17 and then plus 20 or whatever will come out when it comes out, or they're adjusting it and all this stuff. People have even been hinting that we might never get plus 20, but these are all just people talking on the forums. I haven't seen anything official about that. So, as long as they don't say to us, I think they will. I reckon what's going to happen is it's going to get to Tuesday next week, and they're going to say, by the way, plus 17 comes out tomorrow.
Capo.
It will happen. It will happen. And
that would be very unfortunate, to be honest, but I hope it doesn't. I can imagine it happening, definitely, but I hope it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to prepare myself for it as if it is coming out on Wednesday. I'm trying to get everything sort of plus 15, start gathering anything that I can that will help me to get those concentrated black stones quicker, so that I can actually get plus 16 and even plus 17 on my weapons and stuff.
That's a pretty good idea for sure.
Yeah, that's why you want notice, so you can prepare for this stuff. It's like with boss gear as well. When boss armor comes out, people are going to want to stack a shit ton of memory fragments. So if we get it dropped on us with 1 day's notice, yeah, you could say, well, you should have prepared earlier. But at the same time, it's well, maybe they should have given us some notice.
I agree.
But I mean, I think overall the Mediah expansion has done quite a good thing for the community, because it's opened up more things for us to do, and it's made the leveling less of a drag, which I know is what a lot of people were getting sort of down in the dumps about. Even though I was level 51, 52 or whatever in the within the first 3 weeks of it coming out, there were people that were already level 55, and I felt oh my god, I'm so far behind everyone.
Yeah, that feels bad.
Yeah, but I just wanted to play the game and do horse breeding and alchemy and fishing and all this, and I didn't feel like I could, because I was going to get further and further behind if I just played the game and enjoyed myself.
And that's the issue for me, because there's no mix between, or I guess there is a mix right now, between casual players and hardcore players, because there's no plus 20 or whatever. There's no crazy boss gear. I mean, there's boss weapon, for example, the Zarka weapon, but it's not too insane, So I like what they do here, to be honest.
Yeah, as long as they don't, like we were saying, as long as they don't just drop it out of the air randomly, I've got no problem with how they've done Mediah so far.
Exactly.
That is literally my only reservation, that they dropped it with 1 day's notice. And also, we were meant to be doing like guild activities the day after and all this stuff. We had to stop everything. We were like, oh, okay, drop everything. Looks like we're all grinding tomorrow, boys. So it was pretty interesting. So what we are getting next week for certain, which everyone, I don't know how often you get asked this in your stream, dude.
Quite some.
Oh man, every day. When's Blader coming
hey,
out?
Hey Koyo, Blader, Plum.
Yeah, Blader?
Dates, hello?
Blader? When's it coming out? Hello? Do you know when Blader's being released? Have they given any indication? Yes, it's coming out next week. But like, I still get asked it every day. But it's not called Blader. They're called Moosas, aren't they? Or Musses, or how you
Musa and Mediah, I believe.
Yeah, Musa and a Mau. That one.
Right.
But we're never going to get out of the habit of calling them Bladers. I certainly won't. I'm always going to call them Bladers.
Same for me.
Yeah. But what do you think about them sort of staggering the release of Blader and Ninja as opposed to the rest of the classes? Do you think they should have released them at the launch of the game? Or do you think it's good that they're staggering them out?
I have mixed feelings again. It's a good thing and a bad thing. Like having classes that you want to, you know, anticipate for and, you know, hype for, I guess that's a good thing. But I don't know how, like, what their plans are for when it comes to releases. Like if they're trying to make ninjas come out later, or when they're trying to make new classes, because there's like a new class for the Korean version, which is like the Night Elf, I believe.
Oh,
not
the
a Night Elf.
Dark
It's
Elf.
a Dark Elf.
Night Elf.
Right.
World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft, good days. Right. So I don't know. I'm not sure what their plans are. Like from what I'm understanding, it's pretty much waiting for the Korean version to get more content and then take the content and put it in the NAU version. That's what I think.
Yeah.
But there is like different things for us on the NAU versions. We're gonna have like different release dates, different classes coming in at different dates, so it's very weird. But I think it's a good thing. Like I'm looking forward to Plum and Blader, or I should say Musa and Mediah. I've played Plum until 50 on the Korean version, and I enjoyed it. It's a very fun class, so I think it's cool. But I feel like they gotta, you know, be more. I don't know. You know, there has to be more hype. It's not like, all right, this is gonna happen and this is gonna happen then and then. There has to be some hype building up, but I'm missing the hype for some reason. I don't know why. It's like a feeling I have.
I get the feeling you're like one of the only people in the world that don't have the hype, because all I hear every day is, oh my god, I can't wait for Blader to come out. And I'm like, okay, it's just a class.
I don't know, man.
They love it.
I don't know.
They fucking love it.
Right.
No, I'm kind of interested in Ninja, because I played Blader until level 50 as well on career. So I played Blade until level 50 on career, but on the Ninja side of things, never even made one. Like, didn't.
I have a 54 Ninja.
And what do you think of them?
I think it's a really cool class. Like, to me, I can tell you every single class is cool, because I feel like this game, compared to others, it's very balanced. Like every single class has something that's good, that's cool. So me playing Blader, I felt very mobile. I had good CC, I had good AoE, I guess, on my Plum. So I like that. On my Ninja, I don't know, it's like a very fun playstyle.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to every class, really. Like I'm looking forward to the Dark Elf right now.
Yeah,
so probably when it's coming out, I'm going to go ahead and go to Korea and level 1, because I'm pretty hyped for that.
Yeah, I think I'll give it a go as well, just to try out and see what it's like.
Right.
I kind of understand, because a lot of people have been saying, oh man, why didn't they just release Blader and Ninja at launch and all this? And I kind of understand why they're a bit frustrated, because obviously the gearing and all this stuff and having to level up 2 classes and all this jazz. But I feel like if they gave us everything at once, it wouldn't have been as special, and it would definitely hurt the game in terms of its longevity. So
exactly.
If they went, oh yeah, here's every class in the game, after a month, you know, you're kind of done with it. Whereas now they're bringing it out further down the line, it's going to be a bit of a breath of fresh air, being like, oh man, I can stop grinding on my, you know, witch now because I'm like level 54. I can go and try out this new class that I haven't tried yet, and it looks really cool. It's called a, you know, a ninja. So I think that's a good idea. Why they, I kind of understand why they did it, but I do understand why people are frustrated with it. But I get why they did it, and I think I do agree with them trying to spread out the class releases for a little while.
I agree with you, but the thing is, for me, I don't really understand what they're trying to do. Like, the game has been out for 2 months now, I believe. I don't know exactly sure how much.
Not even that, month and a half.
There you go. So if the game is out for a month and a half, and there's classes coming out after a week from now, which is April 20th, I believe, for the Blader and Plum, or Musa Mediah.
You'll get it one day. We'll get
what's going to happen in the future? I don't know. Like, what's going to happen in the future?
Yeah.
I'm really confused and curious, because that means they're putting out every content that they have available. And like, what are we looking at later on down the line?
Yeah,
that's kind of what I'm worried for.
That is literally my issue, because at the moment, I feel like I could go a month easily on the content we currently have. Easily a month.
I totally agree.
2-3 months, maybe. But what they're going to do is, I feel like they're going to keep releasing content. They're going to go, yeah, here's Mediah Part 2. Okay, right, you got Mediah Part 2. Here's a ninja. Okay, right, you've got a ninja. It's been another, like, 2-3 weeks. Okay, let's bring out Valencia. Okay, we're up to Korea. Now you have to wait 6 months until they develop new content.
That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, they're waiting for Korea to create content, which means if we're waiting for Dark Elf after Ninja and Kunoichi, we're going to wait a long time, I'm pretty sure. So, I don't know, like, I'm kind of worried in a way, but so far from what I've seen in the NANEU version, there's nothing crazy big happening that's, like, bad. So, I feel like it's going to be good, but I'm just worried. Like, what are we going to look at later on? That's my worry, I guess.
Yeah. It's just like, it's almost like we're being spoiled at the moment with all this content we get. And then it's going to run out one day. If they keep releasing it, if they keep firing it out as quick as they are with like a week.
That's my worry right there.
Huh?
That is my worry right there.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And then all the people are going to be like, oh, but we were getting all this content. Where's it all gone? And it's like, well, we've got none left. Sorry, guys. We gave you it all in like the space of 3 months instead of spreading it out over a year. And then people will get annoyed, and then they'll be like, oh, the game's stale now, and they'll get bored, and that's my only worry. Now, if it was any other game besides Black Desert, I'd be monumentally concerned. But Black Desert has so much random shit to do that even without new content for quite a while, you're still going to be able to, you know, have fun.
Exactly. There's so many things you can do in this game. There is so many professions, so many exploring. There is many things you can do. If it's like a game, I would say BNS is an example. It's maybe a weird example, but I played BNS before this game for like a week or two.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the game for a little bit, like comparing it for a little, I guess. In this game, you have much more to do than, for example, in BNS. And BNS was the big hype before this game, right?
Yeah.
So,
just quickly, for anyone that is not clicking in their head, BNS is Blade and Soul.
Sorry, my bad. Exactly.
No, yeah, some people might be like, what the fuck's BNS?
Right. So, I don't know. There is many things you can do, which makes me kind of worried. Again, what are we going to look at later on? Are we going to have the Ninja, Plum, Blader, Kunoichi, and then the Dark Elf later on? And then we're going to wait like a whole year for new content? Like, what's going to happen?
No.
It's unclear to me, you know? It's kind of worries me.
Yeah, I just hope it doesn't... It's just, the main thing that I'm worried about this game going to shit is the community self-destructing itself, essentially. I'm going
to tell you one thing.
Yeah, go on.
Right. So I've checked the forums 2 times in my entire life for BDO,
right.
And I will never go back again. Like, that is so toxic. Holy shit.
It's got better. It has got a lot better over the past couple of weeks. I wouldn't say it's the nicest place in the world, but compared to what it used to be, like, you know how it is. Whenever a new MMO comes out, you get all the kids coming over from different MMOs trying out to see if it's the next best thing in the world. And when it's not exactly what they want, they go to the forums and cry like little bitches to put everyone else off playing the game. So now that a lot of those people have left, it's not as toxic as it used to be. I mean, it's still not great.
That's good to know.
If you look at the Reddit as well, the BDO Reddit as well, that's a much better place than it used to be as well. Like, I actually go there every day now to see if there's anything interesting going on, and I rarely see this game is dying, this game's shit, this game's pay to win. Like, I don't see any of that anymore. Right. But for the first 2 weeks, oh man, that's all there was. That's all there was.
I mean, from what I heard, there were like pretty big famous YouTube and streamers playing BDO, so I guess that took like quite some people with them.
Yeah, I mean PewDiePie.
And I'm guessing that took some right toxicity as well. So it's looking better, I'm for sure. Like in game as well, it's not too bad. In my stream, not too bad. People coming in right now saying pay to win, this and that. It's getting less, so it's looking good right now. I have to agree.
Yeah, your stream seems to get targeted by people saying this game's pay to win. I don't get that too much. I get it every now and then, but like, yeah, every time I come in your stream, I swear to God, you're talking about this game not being pay to win.
I don't know, man. I get asked the question every day, but before it was pretty much like 100 times a day, so it's getting better, I guess, in a way. I don't know.
What's good to see is I still get a lot of people, even to this day, coming in my stream or commenting on my YouTube videos saying, hey dude, I'm thinking of getting this game, is it any good? And it's awesome to see that even now, people are still getting into this game. Because what happens with a lot of new MMOs, like Blade and Soul, for example. Blade and Soul is a prime example because Blade and Soul was the most recent Korean MMO to be westernized. That's why you might hear a lot of people referring to it a lot. Like, that's why a lot of people seem to pick on that as a game. But Blade and Soul was the most recent big one that came out, and look how quickly that died out, essentially. Yes, I know it's still going, people do still play it, but in terms of people actually joining the game and everything, I don't know the last person I heard say, oh yeah, so I picked up Blade and Soul recently. I don't think anyone's done
Right. Can I share a story about Blade and Soul, or are we going to stick to video?
No, go on, share a story quick. Yeah, go for it.
Alright. There's one story. I played video. I played BNS, Blade and Soul, for 2 weeks. I had a max level Blade Master, for people who don't know, and a max level Destroyer. I was level, I think like max level on both. There's something new with the patch where you can get even higher, I don't know. So I got level 50 or 45, I'm not sure, I forgot. I got Diamond on my Destroyer, which is kind of high expected for people. And you know, all good, all amazing. But then the game dies out so quickly. And comparing my experience in BNS compared to BNO, I can't even, I'm combining things together. BNS and BDO,
Yeah,
I'm having so much more like professions to do, exploring to do, PvP. And compared to BNS, all I was doing is arenas. I was doing nothing else. So I don't know, I feel like this game deserves so much more hype and so much more respect from people, because I see many people coming in and saying this game is trash, this game is pay to win or whatever. It kind of makes me sad in a way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's just, I don't think it's man, just because I played Blade and Soul a few times, and then I played on my mate's account as well, and it just seems like there are a lot more people still playing this. I don't know that many people that have quit it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe loads of people have quit it. But when I run through towns and everything, there are still shit tons of people all the way through it and everything.
Right.
So I hope, because it's been a long time since I've been this invested into an MMO. I think the last time I got this invested was Arcade, and well, that went well, didn't it?
Let me not even start about that one.
Yeah, exactly. This comes up in like every video I ever do with anyone, so we won't dwell on that. But yeah, I mean, I hope it doesn't happen again. You know, I
totally agree, man.
This time will be different, man. I promise. This one's a different game, but I love this game. I can play this easily for like 12, 14 hours a day, and still feel like I haven't done enough. Or
I agree.
Yeah, not so much I haven't done enough, because you can play this game casually. It's not fun. I know quite a few people that only play it like a couple of hours a day, if that. But at the same time, you can either play it a couple of hours a day, or you can play it 14 hours a day, you know? You can easily do both things.
I mean, I play this game 24 hours a day, or every week I do like a 24-hour stream, which pretty much means this game is not boring at all, because someone's doing 24-hour streams in the game every week. That's something, you know?
Do you not get
Meaning I can
out?
play this game for a long time. I don't. That's the thing. Like, I've never had this before, where I can play a game for so many hours and enjoy myself. I could grind for a whole week straight if I wanted to, and I would still enjoy myself, because the graphics, the combat system, the combo system, I don't know, it's so different, but so much better than any other game. So I don't know. I really like this game. I'm pretty much falling in love with the game, slowly falling in love very deeply. It's really good.
Man, we
I
sound
don't
like
know. It's
we sound like
probably one of the best games I've ever played.
we sound like fanboys.
I sound like
so
who?
hard at the moment. We sound like fanboys. No.
Oh right. I mean, I'm a fanboy. I agree.
We've got to remain critical, man, about the problems that this game is facing.
There is problems, 100%, but at the same time, the game is so good. It has so much potential. You
There's
know?
problems, but it's
So-
amazing. There are problems, but trust me, it's amazing.
No, it's like mixed feelings. Is what I mean.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. For me, like, yes, of course, there are problems with this game. There are problems with every game. No game is perfect, but for me, the positives outweigh the negatives in this game quite heavily.
Right.
Like, I don't like the wild bosses in this game. That is something that I dislike in this game. They annoy me. I feel like it's too much to have to
It
do
is too much.
world bosses every day, and doing Zarka about 5 times in a row back to back. I don't like the way that is. I think it should just be one channel, because then the PvP over it would be a lot more fun, and it would stop everyone from having to. I don't know. It doesn't
I
feel
don't
like
agree.
it
I
doesn't.
don't agree at all.
What, you want it to be on every channel?
Yes, because when you go to a channel, like, that's kind of where it comes to the real life, you know, gonna combine real life with the game. Because if you have a shitty computer, you can't
No.
go to the actual place.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's kind of hard for me as a streamer, like 30 FPS on my stream, and then having medium settings in game. I can't even go and do a boss, like a raw boss, because it's way too bad. I have to go down to my settings and put it too low.
Yeah.
So I feel like having 1 or 2 channels for every single person to go to, that will be a very bad idea. But I don't know what they can do. Like, that's the thing. I'm not sure.
The problem is my guild and the guilds that we're allied with, we get like 5 or 6 Zarkas just for us. And I don't think that's right. I don't think that's fair. And then obviously the other ones are got by the other big guilds on our server, like Nihilum and all that. And then that's it. And then there's nothing else for anyone else. And it just, I don't know. It feels weird. It feels like we're getting everything, and then I don't know what. I'm not saying they need to change it. I don't like the world bosses in this game. I feel like they happen too often. Maybe not Zarka. I haven't got really a problem with Zarka that as much. It's more the tree spirit boss and everything spawning every day, and it's just
right.
It's like, you know, we all just run there, pile in, kill the boss, and then do it like 4 or 5 times every evening, and it's just kind of like, damn, man.
I can see where you're coming from, to be honest. Like, controlling a whole area as a guild, that's kind of where the game is supposed to go to, because you're supposed to like capture areas as your guild and, you know, fight other guilds and stuff. But if you're a big guild, or you have different guilds, because you can have like max members in one guild, make a second one and have max members in there, and ally, you know.
Yeah.
So you can pretty much conquer a whole channel when it comes to guild bosses, or robots, sorry. So I feel like I understand what you mean, but at the same time, I don't know what else they could do. Like, what else can they do to
they can't really
make world bosses better?
It might be better on your chat. It might be better on your server. Do you do world bosses?
I do, and it's not too bad.
Is it
FPS
like a
is the only issue?
But is it like a PvP bloodbath or not so much?
It is.
Okay.
It's like a mix between PvP and actually killing the boss. So
right,
I like it.
That sounds better. The problem is obviously on Croxus, because we're quite a small server compared to Jordan and Olliston, we don't really get contested that much. There are only like 6 guilds that like actually fight each other, and besides that, there's not that much going on. So we only really bump into each other for the last like 2 tree bosses. Besides that, the rest of it is just free loot. And I think
I have to be honest, that sounds really boring.
That
sounds really boring, man.
And this is why I'm not a big fan of world bosses, because it's just a PvE dick slapping fest.
Right.
I mean, yeah, we get shit tons of loot from it and everything, but at the same time, I see some guys playing on Jordan and everything, and I'm like, oh damn, look at all that PvP, man. And yeah, we get it on Croxus, but not in the quantity that you get it. We get it more rarely.
There is one thing I can think of: merging servers. That's all I can think of. There's nothing else that pops up to my head and says, we could do this with the game to make the game better. Like, if they merge servers, that would make the whole game better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's what I can think of. But if you're comparing Croxus, so like a smaller population, to Jordan, for example, which is hype up, then yes, your problem with the guilds and world bosses will be worse, 100%. And for me, on like a hype up server, high population, it's better. I don't really have many issues. So I don't know. I guess it's a problem for lower populations, where like 2 or 3 guilds control a whole server, pretty much, you know?
Yeah, it's like that. There's like 6 guilds, which are like the powerhouses of the server, essentially.
That sounds pretty boring, man. I gotta be honest.
I mean, it's fun because we're at war with like another alliance and everything. So there's PvP, but there's only PvP between. It's like, instead of there being 10 sides in the war, with everyone having their own little wars going on, it's like we just smash into each other in a massive fustercluck, and it is fun. It is really fun, but at the same time, it's kind of like, oh damn, man, I wish there were like these little pocket wars. And everything. It'd be a lot more fun than just Nihilum Red, and Celestial versus Leviathan, Bane, and Addicted, because that I
can see
that's pretty much how it is at the moment.
Right.
But we couldn't merge the servers yet. It would be far too soon to merge servers.
I don't know. Would it be?
Yeah. I don't.
Why do you think so?
There'd be too much population. At the moment, the game is far too populated to merge.
I guess
I don't know. Unless they added loads of channels, they'd have to be so many channels to make it viable. Like, you think about it. Let's just use world bosses as an example. World bosses are gone on our server in about 45 minutes of them spawning. Okay.
Damn.
And you take that, add that into, you know, you add the pop of Jordan and the population of Olliston as well. All of a sudden, we would be wiping up those things in like a matter of minutes, because every big guild would pick their own server, and we'd all try and just take the boss on that channel, then it'd be gone.
Own channel, right.
Because I just feel like there are too many people at the moment. But someone in the chat just say that a merge between Croxus and Olliston, now that might make a bit more sense.
That would be good. Yeah, I agree.
Because Jordan clearly has no population issues whatsoever.
Not at all.
Yeah, but I don't think Croxus has a population issue. I'm running through a channel now, and there are shit tons of people around. It'd just be
Okay.
nice to
I
have...
mean, whenever I go to the server selection and I go to, like there's a small text where it tells you how many people are in, or like it says crowded, I guess.
Yeah.
I see crowded in every channel on my server. When I go to Croxus, I see crowded on a couple. So
it's all crowded.
every time I check that, I can. It's all crowded. Okay.
Everyone's all
I mean,
crowded
whenever I
at the
check it, there's like, all right.
It's
I don't know.
it's because it's
I don't know.
it's because it's evening. It doesn't normally say crowded for everything. Do any of
That
you say
makes
overrun
sense.
at the moment still, or not?
Let me have a look. There is none.
None overrun.
Nope.
See, Croxus is populated as Jordyne confirmed. There we go.
Confirmed.
Close
I
enough.
don't know, man.
So
But yeah, if they're combining two low pops together, I guess that would be a really good solving for the issue. So that's what I can think of as well. So.
yeah. But we've got to remember this game is only a month and a half old. Like.
But then again, if it's a month and a half old, why are patches rushing? What's our problem, you know?
Yeah, but we're going back to an old point now.
me.
Yeah, but we're going back to an old point now. No,
I
I agree, but I mean, we got to remember the game's a month and a half old. Loads of players are going to quit. It just happens. It happens with every MMO. They play the game for a while, they're like, it's not really my cup of tea, and then they quit. So then you're just going to be left with all the... not the hardcore players, but the people who do genuinely enjoy this game. I don't know how long you played Arcade for example.
I played Arcade for over a year.
Did you start at launch?
I started in the beginning, like the alpha.
Right, so yeah, you were like me. I started in the alpha, but I myself only got up to the first Castle Siege. And then I quit.
Alright,
So-
I've never joined a guild in Arcade.
What?
There you go.
Wow, okay.
I was pretty much like a solo player, I guess. Not going into the weeaboo or whatever. I just was a solo player. I didn't like dramas, and going into a guild, there's always drama involved. So I was a Dark Runner, playing on my own, having decent gear, and just walking around PvPing around the whole world. That's what I enjoyed in Arcade.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then the game went worse and worse. Not going like too much details because but yeah.
But I mean, that
was me.
But the point I was trying to make essentially was that you look at us, we're both like really into our BDO at the moment. Just like we were both into our Arcade. However, I quit way before you did. So it's like players will quit. I thought I was going to play Arcade forever, but it just didn't meld with me and all this. So I did quit. So this is what's going to start happening with BDO, I'm sure. Players will stop dropping out. It happens with every game. And I hope it's not so many that it kills the game. I don't think it will be. Because it's a buy to play game. This is the only difference over other games, is people had to already be somewhat invested in it because they're having to spend 30 euros or $30 of their own money. They didn't get to try it for free unless they had a trial. So that kind of got rid of it made it less toxic essentially because you had to pay for it, if you know what I mean, if that makes sense.
It makes sense. I mean, at the same time, that all depends on the company. If our company down messes up, 10 rip. Because if you look at Arcade, Tryon messed up the game very badly. So you can only look at a company really. If the company down is doing good right now and keeps doing good, then there is no reason for me at all to even consider quitting. So
yeah,
I don't know. The game has so much potential.
Yeah, I straight up agree. As long as they keep it, all going and everything, and they don't do any massive colossal fuck ups like they bring. I don't know what the item's called. The one that's on career. You use it to basically increase your chance at successfully enhancing gear.
For Arcade or BDO?
No, BDO.